I feel it's important that, that criticism is constructive.
Welcome to MsMojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the most notable instances when actors publicly clapped back at negative reviews of their films.
God, we're gonna talk about this.
Yeah,
I'm not.
do you want it?
Yeah, cool, bro. I'm scared.
Maisy Williams, The New Mutants.
I wouldn't mind being an X-Man. And why would they need a dog?
The superhero horror The New Mutants, featuring such stars as Maisy Williams and Anya Taylor-Joy, was filmed in 2017 and initially set for an April 2018 release. However, due to factors like the Disney-Fox merger and the COVID-19 pandemic, the film's release date was pushed back repeatedly.
She wasn't prepping us to be X-Men. She was prepping us to be killers.
When it finally landed in August 2020, not many critics were pleased with the results. In particular, one review by Forbes called it the worst X-Men movie ever. Rather than taking offense, Williams turned it into a marketing opportunity. She tweeted in response, "Sounds like a must-see! Get your tickets now!" Unfortunately, her witty comeback wasn't enough to save the film financially, as it only grossed a fraction of its production budget.
The most free I'd felt my whole life. But guilty too.
Why guilty?
Because I knew it was bad.
Amy Schumer, Trainwreck.
Is this guy ever going to shut up?
Please watch the movie.
If you're going to critique a film, you should probably wait to see it in its entirety before sharing your review. In the case of 2015's Trainwreck, however, one critic strayed from this approach.
Not that great of a guy.
Upon the release of the film's trailer, Jeffrey Wells of Hollywood Elsewhere seemed to focus on star and writer Amy Schumer, making inappropriate comments about her appearance. In response, Schumer tweeted that she loved her size and had no intention of changing it. She reinforced this message by posting hilarious pictures on Instagram that depicted caricatures of conventional beauty standards. These responses prompted a half-hearted apology from Wells, acknowledging Schumer as a, quote, first-class talent who, quote, deserves more respect than what I gave her. Sure, Jan.
I have to confess I spoke too soon. It is very good. Really? It really is.
Really?
Yeah, it's very good.
Rob Schneider, Deuce Bigalow, European Gigolo. To say that 2005's Deuce Bigalow, European Gigolo was hated by pundits would be an understatement. Even legendary critic Roger Ebert awarded the film an astounding 0-star rating.
We don't even have to spend any time on this movie. It's vulgar, it's disgusting, it's in very bad taste, and it's not funny, and that's it.
But apparently, the review that irked star and co-writer Rob Schneider came from LA Times' critic Patrick Goldstein. Goldstein quipped that the film was overlooked by the Oscars because there wasn't a category for most vulgar joke, delivered by a third-rate comic. Oof. Schneider didn't take this comment lightly.
It's a closed set, you can't come in here, sir. Like hell I can't.
He bought full-page ads in Variety and The Hollywood Reporter, retorting that Goldstein hadn't won a Pulitzer since there wasn't a category for third-rate unfunny pompous reporter. Ironically, Roger Ebert, a Pulitzer winner, later weighed in on the feud, asserting that the movie sucked.
My pick for the worst film of 2005, and why stop there? There's a whole decade to think about. Deuce Bigalow, European Gigolo.
Jamie Dornan, 50 Shades of Grey.
You have no right to be mad.
Yeah, but I am mad. Palm-twitchingly mad.
Despite being a phenomenal box office success, the first entry in the 50 Shades of Grey franchise was panned by critics. Many of the negative reviews focused on the performances of the film's lead actors Dakota Johnson and Jamie Dornan. One in particular singled out Dornan, describing him as having the charisma of oatmeal.
Not to mention high-handed.
I'm used to getting my own way.
That must get very boring.
In a 2020 interview with Variety, Dornan mentioned that he usually avoids reading reviews of his movies, but admitted to checking out some for the 50 Shades film. He then brought up the oatmeal remark, saying, "Some people like oatmeal, so I thought it was kind of harsh." Despite this, Dornan was able to poke fun at the critique, maintaining that he didn't entirely disagree with it.
I'm not the man for you. You should steer clear of me.
Amanda Stenberg, Bodies, Bodies, Bodies.
I could literally be wearing a t-shirt, and just because of the size of my boobs, there will be some sort of sexualization or commentary on my chest.
The 2022 film Bodies, Bodies, Bodies was generally praised as a sharp social commentary from the digital age. However, Lena Wilson, a critic from the New York Times, offered a lukewarm take, labeling it a 95-minute advertisement for cleavage. In response, one of the film's stars, Amanda Stenberg, messaged Wilson on Instagram saying, "Maybe if you had gotten your eyes off my breasts, you would have watched the movie."
Lena is gay. I am also gay. I thought that as gay people, we would both find this comment funny. I was also curious to know what Lena would say to such a statement.
Wilson, who identified as lesbian, tweeted the message, apparently perceiving it as homophobic. Stenberg clarified that her comment was meant in jest and highlighted the unnecessary sexualization she had faced in the past. This exchange sparked a heated online debate, with opinions split between Stenberg's and Wilson's perspectives.
You are allowed to have your criticisms on my work, and I'm allowed to have my criticisms of your work, and that is A-okay with me.
Ben Platt, Dear Evan Hansen. In 2017, Ben Platt won the Tony Award for Best Actor in a Musical for his performance in Dear Evan Hansen. 4 years later, he reprised his role in the film adaptation. However, at 27, he was noticeably too old to play a 17-year-old high school student.
Maybe if I could just talk to her, maybe things would be better. Or maybe nothing would be different at all.
Fans quickly noticed this age disparity in the trailer and also raised nepotism concerns, seeing as Platt's father, Mark, co-produced the movie. The actor took an exception to these claims, calling his critics jerks.
The reaction is largely from people that don't know the context of the piece, the fact that I created the role and workshopped it for 3 years and did all of the out-of-town productions and originated on Broadway and received the accolades that I did, and also not really understanding the fact that, like, were I not to do the movie, it probably wouldn't get made.
This response backfired, leading to further criticism directed at Platt. Ultimately, Dear Evan Hansen was met with negative critical reception and didn't receive much love at the box office either.
I'm the worst thing that ever happened to you, and I just ruined your life, okay?
Daniel Kaluuya, Nope. Jordan Peele's third directorial effort, Nope, garnered largely positive reviews for various aspects of its filmmaking. But controversial internet personality Logan Paul clearly wasn't impressed by it. Paul tweeted a thread critiquing the film that quickly went viral.
What did he say?
Well, there's a lot of tweets, but basically that he didn't understand it and then he thought it was shock for the sake of it, that kind of stuff.
Among other things, he called the movie objectively slow and described the character played by actor Daniel Kaluuya as possibly the most mundane vanilla character. When asked about the viral thread, Kaluuya brushed off Paul's criticism, questioning why his opinion should matter above everyone else's.
I'll listen to it, but I'm just going, I don't know why you're over everybody else, because you're just a brother that's just talking about stuff, innit?
Kaluuya also alluded to Paul's inexperience in the film industry, comparing it to him giving a music critique. Regardless, Nope seemed to have connected with a wide audience, grossing over $170 million worldwide.
Let's go, boy!
Yeah! Melissa McCarthy, Identity Thief.
That looks good. That looks good.
With a mere 19% Rotten Tomatoes rating, the 2013 buddy comedy Identity Thief apparently failed to deliver on many levels. However, while most critics focused on the quality of the material, New York Observer writer Rex Reed took a mean-spirited route. Reed attacked Melissa McCarthy's physical appearance, describing her with several demeaning words.
Now the critic that took her on is being harshly criticized himself, as some big names come to McCarthy's defense.
His review sparked outrage among many in the film industry, but McCarthy herself decided to respond with kindness. She described Reed as someone swimming in so much hate that it made her feel bad for him. McCarthy remained unfazed about his opinion, stating that she was in such a happy spot in her life. Frankly, we couldn't be more glad for her.
I just thought, spirit of honesty, I'd put out there that I visually enjoy you.
Carrie Mulligan, Promising Young Woman.
Have you come here to hurt me?
Do you want me to hurt you?
I think so.
Promising Young Woman stars Carrie Mulligan as Cassie, a trauma survivor who embarks on an epic revenge scheme. Following its premiere at the Sundance Film Festival in January 2020, it was reviewed by freelance critic Dennis Harvey for Variety. While Harvey largely praised Mulligan's performance, he suggested that producer Margot Robbie might have been a better fit. Mulligan called out this comment in an interview with the New York Times, stating that it implied she wasn't hot enough for the part.
It didn't wound my ego, but it made me concerned that in such a big publication, an actress's appearance could be criticized, and it could be, that could be accepted as completely reasonable criticism.
Consequently, Variety added an editor's note at the top of the original article, apologizing to Mulligan for its insensitive remarks. Nonetheless, Harvey defended his comments, maintaining that he never intended them as a slight to Mulligan's appearance.
Feels like you've got to stand up for these things, otherwise it continues, and then you're essentially part of it.
Right.
So I was really sort of surprised and thrilled and happy to have received an apology.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications.
Samuel L. Jackson, The Avengers.
You here with a mission, sir?
I am.
Trying to get me back in the world?
Trying to save it.
As Nick Fury, Samuel L. Jackson has gone up against many villains. But after the release of the first Avengers film in 2012, he faced his most unexpected adversary, a movie critic.
I recognize the council has made a decision, but given that it's a stupid-ass decision, I've elected to ignore it.
Jackson took issue with review by New York Times journalist A.O. Scott, who described the blockbuster as having a grinding, hectic emptiness that even humor couldn't salvage. The actor tweeted that Scott needed a new job and urged fans to help him find one. Surprisingly, Scott received an outpouring of support online, with many defending his right to voice his opinion. Despite this, Scott's mixed review was drowned out by the overwhelming praise for the film and its eventual $1.5 billion gross.
Every world knows it.
Was that the point of all this? A statement?
A promise.
Do you know any other celebs who fired back at their critics? Let us know in the comments.
Everyone thinks Asian women will take all kinds of crap, like bow and hand them a cup of tea or some shit. You can't let them.
Do you agree with our picks? Check out this other recent clip from MsMojo. And be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.